In this video, we will learn about the where keyword in the SOQL. Now, there are different terminologies how we refer to the where keyword. We will be using these terminologies alternatively. We can call it as where statement, we can call it as where keyword or where clause. The keyword where is used to reduce the number of records written by a query. Now, question will be like, why to reduce the number of records if we can get all the records in one shot? So you need to understand that in an enterprise application database of Salesforce, where we have hundreds of thousands of users producing millions of records, we might end up having millions of records in an object. And if we try to execute a query against that object without applying a where statement or where keyword, we will run into the governor limit issue. There is a governor limit which says that whenever you execute SOQL and that SOQL query is returning more than 50,000 records, it will throw an exception which cannot be handled. So it is necessary for us to apply a where condition or where statement in a query and make sure that that SOQL query returns the correct set of records for us. In an SOQL query, whenever we apply the where keyword, which will be followed by the conditions that we specify, there we can apply one or multiple conditions based on which the records that the SOQL query will return will be filtered. The other advantage of using the where keyword and the correct set of conditions is that if we implement these conditions in the right way, we can improve the performance of the query. Now, this is a bit advanced topic, but I wanted to cover this here because you need to understand that where clause is not any ordinary clause. It is very important one. It just not helps us to stay away from the governor limit, but also helps us to improve the query performance. Let's try to understand this a little deeper. So whenever we perform an SOQL query, in the background, Salesforce makes connection with the database, and based on the query, it tries to fetch those set of records. If the query is going to return a lot of records, the database connection will be open until that execution is finished, which will slow down the database performance for us and for the rest of the users, since it's a multi-tenant environment. Another problem could be that if we are not implementing the filters in the where condition correctly, the database might need to scan the entire set of records in the database table or database object, which will again create a problem for performance. So it is important for us to remember this, that whenever we apply a where condition or where keyword in the SOQL query, we put the right set of conditions. Sometimes if we do not put those conditions correctly, that might also reduce the performance of the query even after applying the where clause. Now let's see how the where keyword can be applied in an SOQL query. The SOQL statement starts with the select keyword followed by the comma separated list of field API names, which is followed by the keyword from, which in turn is followed by the object API name, and this object API name is then followed by the where statement or where keyword. This where keyword must be followed by one or multiple conditions. Now, as you can see on the screen, we have added two conditions. In the first condition, we are checking that the field 1 should be equal to the text uni, and then we are applying this AND operator, and then we are checking for the field 2 to be less than the number 25. So whenever this SOQL will get executed, it will only return the records where the field 1 is UNI and the field 2 is less than 25. Now let's try to understand how to build these types of conditions for the where keyword. For that, let's try to first understand what are the different operators that we have that are supported in SOQL statements. First types of operators are comparison operators. The first is the equals to operator that can be applied on all the types of fields. Then not equals to, which is the exact opposite of the equals to operator. Then we have less than operator, which works with the number and date fields only. Then we have less than or equal to, which is similar to less than, but it also has this additional condition of equals to. Then we have greater than, which is completely opposite of the less than operator, which again is applicable on the number and date field. Then we have a variation of this, greater than or equal to. Let's take a look at the next set of comparison operators now. These are a little complex, but are useful in some special conditions. So the first one is the like operator. This is applicable only on text. So whenever we want to perform a partial search on a text field, we should use the like operator. This like operator supports wildcard characters, which allows us to do the partial search. Then we have this in operator. In general, if you want to compare a field with a text value, we will use equals to operator. But what if we want to compare that field with multiple values, right? In that case, what we can do is that we can collect all of those values in a set or in a list and pass it to that field. In that case, we need to use this in operator. The not in operator is completely opposite of the in operator. And then the last two operators are specific to the multi-select pick lists. So if you want to do the text comparison for a multi-select pick list, then you should use includes operator. And excludes operator is completely opposite of the includes operator. Now let's take a look at the next set of operators, which are logical operators. These operators are not used to satisfy one condition like the comparison operators, but these operators are used to work with the conditions that we have added using the comparison operators. So the first logical operator is AND operator. AND operator is used to combine and enforce multiple conditions to satisfy. For example, a while ago I showed you one query. In that query we have added that where clause and two conditions, and both of those two conditions were combined together with the AND operator. That way we instruct database to return to us only those rows which satisfies both of those conditions. Now the next operator is the OR operator, which is again used to combine multiple conditions. So this is similar to the AND operator, but difference is that the OR operator does not enforce all the conditions to be satisfied in the combination. So if we go back to that previous example in which we had used the AND operator, instead of that, if we would have used the OR operator, the database might have returned to us those records which satisfies the first condition or satisfies the second condition. The next operator is the NOT operator. NOT operator basically enforces no condition to be satisfied. For example, if you don't want the SOQL to return the records where the name is not equal to simplified Salesforce, so instead of using the NOT comparison operator, you can also use the NOT logical operator. Now let's take an example to build a query. So these are all the opportunities that we have in this developer instance. So we have opportunity name, account name, amount, close date, stage, and opportunity owner alias. For the sake of demonstration, we'll try to build a query which will fetch all the opportunities whose name starts with either age or with the keyword express. Okay, and we'll also add one more condition that the opportunities that are written, their amount should be greater or equals to 60,000. Now let's go to the developer console. In the query editor, we will type select from opportunity, and then we will add the field API names one by one. We want name, account, stage, right? And then we will add our where conditions. The first condition should be on the name, where the name like age percentage. Now here if you see, we have used the operator like, and in the parameter we are giving age followed by a percentage sign. The percentage sign here is a wildcard character. That means the name should start with the character age. Similarly, for the next condition, the name should start with express. And finally, we are adding the AND condition where amount is greater than or equal to 60,000. Now, in the results, you can see we are getting the opportunities where the name is starting with either express or age, and the amount is also either greater than or equal to 60,000.
If you like this video, please do like and share. If you want to receive more of such informative content, please hit the subscribe button. If you want us to make content related to any Salesforce or Salesforce related topic, please do let us know through comments.